Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday the 7th of November 2021. Now let's just straight into it. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk and it's their 5 takeaways from Millwall 1 Derby 1. Mitchell is justifying his run inside. His winning run against 10 men ends. Scott Malone scored against his old club Derby County as Millwall drew 1-1 at the Den. The Lions had a man advantage for the final 26 minutes after Nathan Byrne was sent off for 2 bookable offences, both fouls on former Rams attacker Mason Bennett. Festi Ebasile put Derby into 45th minute lead after Jake Cooper was dispossessed on the edge of his own penalty area by Sam Baldock. But Malone produced a superb low strike from Jed Wallace's pass to level things up moments before the interval. Here are Richard Cooley's takeaways from the match. An end to wins against 10 men. It's often said that Mill struggle to beat sides that get players sent off, but in recent times that hasn't been the case. The 1-1 draw with Derby ended a 6-game winning run when they have played against 10 men. The games against Sheffield United, Blackpool, Portsmouth, Rotherham, Bristol City and Leeds were all defeated by Millwall, playing 11 against 10. It told the story that the Lions had 14 goal attempts but only 3 on target. Derby played with plenty of spirit after Burns' dismissal, typifying the resilience they have shown after going into administration, but they had to withstand heavy late pressure. The draw is back. Mill had been on an 8-match run since they last drew, winning 5 of them, but we should have guessed that this Saturday's match would have ended all square. This was their 7th draw of the season, and the only side to have more draws in the Championship than Millwall? Derby. The result in this is 16 means they have shared the points on 9 occasions. Lions boss Gary Rowett brought on all his attacking options in Tom Bradshaw, Matt Smith and Shea Ojo, the latter their 4th change due to Danny Ballard going off with a concussion. But their best chances to get in front came earlier in the second half. Mason Bennett's hooked ball sent Jed Wallace streaking through, but he could only fire at the legs of Kel Roos. And Bennett produced another perceptive pass to find Wallace again. His pullback looked made to measure for Jules Saville, but the midfielder whipped his shot wide of the right upright. Malone off the mark. Scott Malone has scored some excellent goals in the Millwall shirt and he produced another yesterday. It probably gave him an extra satisfaction that it came against his former club. Malone celebrated with a cup tier to the travelling Derby County fans who booed him, and Bennett with Jed Wallace, who claimed his 5th assist of the campaign, putting a finger to his lips. Malone was more advanced as manager. Gary Rowett started with a 4-2-3-1 formation. He took a touch before an arrowed left-footed drive snuck under Roos. After a below-par first half from the Lions, the equaliser took the edge off what would have been a rough reaction from the home supporters. The two teams headed down the tunnel. That was Malone's first goal of the season and his 13th in 130 games for the South Londoners. He produced an audacious late long-distance strike which zipped narrowly over the bar. If that had gone in, then the club's goal of the season competition would have been over. Mitchell impressing. The Mill Academy graduate completed 90 minutes for the 3rd match in a row. Prior to his current run, he had never played more than 2 full games in succession for the Lions. The 20-year-old is keeping the far more experienced Mikael Keftenbeld out of the starting lineup on merit. A serious hamstring injury at the start of the last campaign impacted on his development, but he now seems to be fully back up to speed. Mitchell was the only one to be praised by Rowett for his first half display. I had a go at him at half time and I said Billy Mitchell epitomised the bravery we needed. He was going and getting on the ball, said the Mill boss. He's a young player and he was making things happen. I felt there was more players around him that needed to have the same bottle and quality to help him. Indeed. Derby's goal was a gift. Every goal is avoidable when you break it down, but sometimes you get the really easy ones to avoid. Millwall never looked overly comfortable when they play out from the back, and Cooper's poor touch was an invitation for Sam Baldock to win the ball on the edge of the penalty area. The Derby striker's back heel was followed by a classy turn by Tom Lawrence to coax Mitchell into going to ground before he queued up Ebasile. Clinical finishing, but Millwall should never have been in that position in the first place. So there's the 5 takeaways from the South London Press. Let's move on now to more comments after the game, post-match. Millwall boss on Danny McNamara not being picked and what he needs to do to get back in. Rowett wants more end product from Danny McNamara in the final third of the pitch. McNamara hasn't started a league game since October 16 when he's taken off in the 55th minute in a 2-0 defeat at home to Luton Town. He's come on 3 times as a substitute since, including the 1-1 draw against Derby at the Den on Saturday. McNamara claims a first team spot after returning from a loan spell at St Johnstone last January, but Ryan Leonard has been preferred at right back and right wing back recently. Rowett was asked if McNamara can consider himself unlucky to have been left out. Really unlucky to Rowett said. I think there's a lot of players that can consider themselves unfortunate. Danny's one of those. Miko, Kefton Beld, another. Smudge, PSC. You've got a number of players. What we've asked from Danny is in that position is you've got to add numbers to your game. You've got to set goals up and score goals in those attacking full-back positions. Dan's a young player. He had an incredible impact coming from St Johnstone and into our team. Sometimes what you find is a player just takes a step back to then hopefully come strong. Danny will get his opportunities. What I would say is Lenny has been really good on the whole out there, and he's been an important player for us. Ryan Leonard has been pretty impressive. You can't drop him for Danny McNamara. It would be crazy to do that. And what I said in terms of, I've said this before in the past, how do you, because of our poor attacking options up front, where it's not really working, and we're struggling to create chances. So how do you do that? How do you create chances? Well, I said one thing you could do is bring in a more attacking right wing back, similar to Scott Malone on the left hand side. So you want a Scott Malone, but another one to play on the right. And it seems that's what they're trying to do, is to do that. And they've using Ryan Leonard at the moment. I don't know if they're going to try and sign someone else. I don't think they could, but that's what they're trying to do. Is trying to sign a more attacking, get more attacking going down this right wing back side, and they're doing that by playing Ryan Leonard instead of Danny McNamara. So it is what it is. That's how we need to try and do more attacking, is by doing that. So this popped up as well. So Danny Ballard, obviously in a bit of a battle on Saturday, went off with his concussion. Not only that, but his knee injury seems to have flared up. So he was rested for the game against Reading, and it seems he only played against Derby because Sean Hutchinson's got diarrhea. He had diarrhea, so hopefully over the next 2 weeks Sean Hutchinson recovers from his diarrhea. But we've got this from londonnewsonline.co.uk today. Knee injection could see Millwall defender miss out on international action. Danny Ballard could be set to miss Northern Ireland's World Cup qualifiers after Millwall manager Gary Rowett revealed the defender is set for an injection in his knee. The Arsenal loanee was taken off after a clash of heads in Saturday's 1-1 draw against Derby at the Den, and Ballard had previously set out the midweek victory over Reading. Northern Ireland are due to host Lithuania on Friday night, before following up with another fixture at Windsor Park against Italy. Asked if Ballard's removal in the Rams match would impact Ballard going away on international duty, Rowett replied, "I don't know." He was due to have an injection in his knee anyway on Monday or Tuesday, so there was a doubt about whether he would go because he had an issue with his knee. That's why I left him out on Tuesday for the 1-0 win over Reading. He shouted over to the bench that he couldn't see. I think he had a clash of heads on the header for a long ball. We made a concussion sub, and we'll see how he is over the week. Well, that's kind of scary if you can't see after you get a bump on the head. Hopefully he gets better soon. And so he is in the Northern Ireland squad for their World Cup qualifiers, although they cannot qualify, so they are basically World Cup dead rubbers. But they do need to do as well as they can to maintain their seeding status at the level they are at. Otherwise it will be getting a lot worse for them in future draws if they don't do well, especially against Lithuania, because that's probably a team that if they beat them they could go above them. So I'm sure they want to put out the strongest team they can, but I imagine there are some players who probably won't be too keen to travel there if there's no chance of getting qualification anymore. especially if they're struggling with injuries. But we'll see. We'll see how he does. That's Danny Ballard. So tomorrow, or basically today, Monday night, the under-23s are playing. So this is from Colchester United's official site. It's cufc.com. Mill under-23s are at the JobServe Community Stadium. So Monday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Mills sit third in the league with 15 points, basically off the back of their home record. I think they're like 100% home record, and I think they might be 0% away. I'm not too sure, but they win at home and they struggle away. So I don't know if you want to subject yourself to this, but maybe it might be the first away victory for Millwall. So you can go to the game. You can buy a ticket. It's £5 or £3 for kids. It's 7 o'clock kickoff at the JobServe Community Stadium. So Colchester's ground. So if you live out that way and you want to go to the game, Monday night, 7 o'clock, and there you go. So this being a Sunday video, it's Stats Sunday. The rest of this video is for stats. If you don't give a shit about stats, if expected goals annoy the fuck out of you, thank you for watching, and we're going to move on to the stats. So moving on now. So this is the expected goals over the length of the match. This is from experimental361.com, and you can see here just what a torrid first half that was. So overall, the expected goals over the length of the game was 1.3 to 1.2. So basically it seemed to be deserving of a draw. You can see Mill had a shot basically from kickoff, and they didn't have another shot, or a shot on target, because an expected goal needs to be on target, because you can't expect a shot to go in if it's not on target. So we didn't have another one of those until about the 28th minute, and then we didn't have another one until we scored it right at the end of the game, or end of the first half. So 3 shots in the entire, or 3 shots on target in the entire first half, compared to Derby, who were just all over us. Now, start the second half, bit of a different story. Derby come out and they're flatlining until the 60th minute. We start going for it. Our chances resemble more of a staircase, which is, there's a chance, then a bit of a flat period, and another chance, and it's pretty decent. We had a decent chance in the 72nd minute. They quite jumped the line up quite a bit, and off we went. Kept on trying, wave after wave, which is what you want to see. You don't want to see one shot every 15 minutes average, which is what we got in the first half. Now, as you can see for Derby's line, they basically had better chance. They had more of the game. They had a higher XG than us from the 5th minute all the way until right at the end, when we just about scraped them to get to 1.3 to 1.2. And that only happened because round about the 76th minute, which I assume would be after they went down to 10 men, they decided, okay, we're down to 10 men, let's just defend now. And they flatlined from the 76th minute till the end of the game. And thought, okay, shut up shop, we'll take the draw. Which is not surprising, because they had 8, going into this game, they had 8 draws, and they got their 9th. They seem to be overtaking us as the draw champions of the championship. And this is a typical Millwall performance, it seems. Nothing going on in the first half, trying to make something happen in the second half. And I want to show you the one from the Reading game in a week, because when I did my stats video after the Reading game, this was not available because it came up late. And here it is. There you go. Millwall in blue, 1, 2, 3, 4 shots in the first half. That's against Reading, who won't even try and attack. They won't even try and attack. Look, Reading flatline from 17 minutes to 45th. They were just doing a lot of passing around the back. And then the start of the second half, then we try. And then it goes up, starts going up. This is a typical Millwall performance, especially at home. Dog shit first half, actually try and start scoring in the second half. And this is why the fans are not enjoying football at the Den. And most Millwall fans, most of them, go to the home games. They have season tickets. There's like, was it 8,000 season tickets? 4,000 memberships. They go to the home games. They don't see your... Now, this is the kind of way you play in an away game. You try and keep it tight in the first half, and you try and get them on the counter, especially in the second half. Because in the second half, the home team will try and come at you, and then you can counter more. And whereas edgy atmosphere in the first half, you have one shot every 15 minutes average. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It really isn't. You need to do something. You need to find a way to play. Maybe switch. I literally don't know, but you need to be attacking more in the first half. So this is the one from Reading. This is the one from Derby. So you can see Derby went at us more. And basically we probably got a bit lucky with their geezer getting sent off, because they decided to shut up shop and call it a day and just try and take the point, which they managed to do. But there you go. It's the same old. We don't do anything in the first half, and we try and do everything in the second half. Moving on now to this one. This is infogoal.net, and in the middle they have the expected goals a lot higher for Millwall and a lot lower for Derby. They got 1.5 to 0.92. You can see 2 goals in 2 minutes for us and for them, and their player got sent off in 64th minute. So, and you can see, so 10 minutes later, when we make the changes, that's when they start defending more. They start defending. They basically just try and see out the game after we bring on McNamara, bring on Bradshaw, bring on Matt Smith. So maybe we force them to defend, and they make changes right at the end with 3 minutes to go. So there it is. Let's have a look at the stats from this website, although they're not the best. I don't really know what the criteria is. So 50-50, typical of a draw, no? 50-50 percentage of possession for each team. Attempts on target, 3 to Millwall, 5 to Derby. Attempts off target, 9 to Millwall, 3 to Derby. That is it. Lots of huffing and puffing, but the shots are going wide. Block shots 2 to 5. Goalkeeper saves 4 to 2. So there's Bart keeping us in the game. Our total passes 340 to 400. Completed passes 233 to 298. Corners 5 to 3. Offsides 4 to 0. So Millwall getting offside 4 times there. Fouls 11 to 7. Yellow cards 2 to 2, and 1 red card for them. Let's have a look at the player ratings. And what have we got here? So we've got Scott Malone, man of the match. Wallace, the only other player for Millwall, in green with 7.83. And we've got a low rating for Ballard and Wallace, Murray Wallace. Yeah, Ballard was a bit shaky. He was very shaky. Obviously playing injured, not feeling too good. Being forced into action because Hutch was out with diarrhea, so not the best. Bradshaw, when he came on, 6.78. That's pretty decent. Okay, moving on to the shot map, which is the main reason why I use this website, because I love this shot map. It's amazing infographic. So you can see here, Derby trying to get into that area, trying to shoot from the outskirts of the area, especially on their left hand side, and a cluster of shots coming in there. I wonder who was that. Is it the same player? Bulldog, Buchanan, Lawrence. It's all over. They're all over the place. No, not really any one player. Bulldog, Knight. Okay, but their goal came here. Basile right at the end. Does a 28% chance of going in. So it's their best chance of the game. It's the biggest circle. The bigger the circle, the better the chance. And for Millwall, we scored from one of our pot luck hit and hopes. Our best chance was this one, Benikophobia, 50-50, and it went the wrong way. Didn't go to where we wanted to. And the next best chance was this one from Tom Bradshaw, 85th minute. That was a 30% chance. So there you go. So fairness rating, if you look at the bottom of the screen, fairness rating, was this a fair result based on the shots and chances created? 86.68. So pretty much draw, deserved apparently. Let's switch this up to first half. There you go. There's Millwall's chances in the first half. And he wonders why the fans are fucking upset. That is fucking abysmal. And here you go, Derby. There's their chances. More than us, a lot more than us. Second half, basically all but one inside the area. And for Derby, just getting inside the area, but not really getting clear-cut chances. Just trying to get scraps. There's two there in a cluster. One is so small, it's barely you can see the white in the middle, barely, like a little black dot. And a Sam Bulldog. So there you go, a tale of two halves. A dog shit one and a one where we actually try and win the game. Moving on now to WhoScored.com, and they give, if you look on the right hand side, man of the match Tom Lawrence. Tom Lawrence man of the match. Just Pippin Scott Malone. So what happened in the match? Match summary. Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession. Millwall were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from long shot situations, but we were poor at finishing, were caught offside often, committed a high number of individual errors. We played with width, had a large quantity of possession in our opponent's half, had a high shot frequency on possession, favoured crossing the ball, favoured long balls. Derby were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities through individual skill, no weaknesses and no style of play. And you can see here, so full attempts 14-13, 12-12 open play, 2-1 set piece. Millwall are in red on the left hand side. This website always does. The home team is in red, the away team is in blue. So you can see here, 14 shots, 1 goal. That's 7% conversion rate. And for them, 13 ones, still similarly 7%. So the drawiest of draws, nailed on draw. Did you bet the draw? I think this website and David Pratton predicted a 1-0 win to Millwall, but I predicted the draw because Derby draw and we draw. So, draw. So there's us going. There's the attack sides, shot directions, shot zones, action zone. So, very quiet in defence for us. Player positions. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So let's have a look at pass types. Passes 367 to 406, 28 crosses to 9, 0-1 free balls, 88 to 76 long balls, 251 to 320 short passes. That's it. We don't like the short passing. We want to get it right at where it needs to be, which is in the opposition's half and bearing down on their goal. So now let's look at the player ratings. So there's all the match events that we've already seen. So here we go. Here are the player ratings. So if you look at the top by the club badges, the average player rating for Millwall is 6.57. The average player rating for Derby is 6.55, 6.54. Pretty much even. Pretty much even. And that includes, well, pretty much even, but you consider their player got a rating of 4.7 because he got sent off. Which if you get sent off, you get marked down a lot by this website, whoscored.com. So 4.7 for getting sent in off. So you could argue they were better than us, because if you take that in the equation, that bumps their score up by quite a bit. So Tom Lawrence running the show there, 7.8. With Ibasili and Knight as well getting quite decent scores. And for Millwall, it was Malone and Leonard. Not surprising, Wallace as well. Not surprising with the high number of crosses that we had. I just showed you 28 to 9. So they've given it. They put an error on Jake Cooper E. He's still got 6.2 rating. Biakowski 6.9. So making some decent saves yesterday. So let's have a look what we got here. So the crowd of 14,372. Interesting. Okay. So shots 14 to 13. Who had them? Pretty much spread around, but Malone really wanted to score yesterday. I imagine that was the booing that G'd him up and got him fired up for firing on goal. Possession wise, 47 to 52. So Mitchell, 6.1% of the match possession just from Billy Mitchell. So Billy Mitchell definitely playing very well recently, trying to make things happen, getting on the ball, and you can see it there. Usually for us it's either Hutchinson or Murray Wallace, and you can see here in Ballard, not a lot of time on the ball. Now he did get subbed off, but even though it seems they knew something wasn't right with him, so they probably tried avoiding passing him to the ball. Okay. Moving on to pass success, and George Saville up there, 95. Again, we got to look at see how many passes he actually did. He went off substitute, so I imagine it won't be the highest among the Millwall players. Leonard only 56. That could have been because he was just whipping the ball in to dangerous areas, not really trying to pick out anyone. So Cooper there, ironically, with 78, even though he got caught on the ball and got done for that goal. 78% pass success. Dribbles 4 to 6. There you go with that. Aerials 32 to 24. So didn't dominate the aerials as much as we normally do. Bennett 6. Bennett can play in the air. Bennett is quite an aerial winner of the ball. Leonard with 5, Cooper with 5, and Smith with 3 when he came on. Tackles 15 to 11. So everyone in Millwall having a tackle except for Billy Mitchell, Murray Wallace, Jed Wallace, and Benegfobi. I imagine it's because they were the ones getting on the ball, trying to find, doing the closing down, and then when we get in possession, trying to get on the ball. Corners 5 to 3. Dispossessed 2 to 6. So we won that one, dispossessing them of the ball rather than the other way around, which is good to see. So let's have a look now at a bit more and a bit clearer. So we've got so the player ratings for Millwall, 7.75 Scott Malone. How close was it? How close did he miss out on man of the match? 7.81, so it's quite close. Jed Wallace 7.5 with the assist. Ryan Leonard, third. Bart Biakowski, fourth, with the saves that he made. Murray Wallace, fifth. And basically 7 players and above in 6.5 and above. Did any of the substitutes? No, they didn't really. They didn't get higher scores than the people they replaced. So there's that. And of the starting 11, it seems Jake Cooper the lowest score, 6.24, partly because of that error. And Billy Mitchell there, 6.25, which is weird because we've just seen some pretty decent stats from him, but 6.25, and he was praised by the manager as well. So that is weird. Okay. So who had the most touches? Leonard, Malone, Murray Wallace, Jed Wallace, Jake Cooper. Okay. Offensively, what's happening here? It's not working. Well, that's a bundle of laughs. My internet crashed? I don't know. Okay, this is weird. I think my internet may have crashed. I'm gonna test that out by doing this. No, the internet's working. So that is, why is that? So that's a bit weird. They're not doing that. Okay. So I can't bring you the full gamut of things that we usually look at. Let's scroll down and see if they do the same thing for the Derby team. Oh, what's happened there? Yeah. Okay, that's weird. I was going to show you shots and shots on target, but it's here, so I can show you it here. So you can see 8 players having shots. Malone 5, Afobe 2, Bradshaw 2, which is good. He came on 73rd minute. Get 2 shots away, but they won on target. So only 3 shots on target. So realistically, we could have only scored 3 goals. But to have, what was it, 14 shots or whatever they said, and only 3 of them were on target. That's not too good. That is not too good. Key passes. Jed Wallace 7. Aerials 1. We've seen that, but again, I don't know what's going on here. Don't know why they haven't done this properly. So I guess we'll just have to leave it there. So thank you for watching and goodbye. And if you're in the Essex area, South Essex or North Essex, wherever it is, Colchester United versus Millwall under 23s tonight, 7 PM. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.